Hey guys, today I'm back to do my July and August wrap-up and my September TBR. So I'm going to show you the books I've read during July and August, because I have only read 2 books in July and I didn't feel like filming a video for the 2 because they were not that exciting. So I'm just going to run through the books now, and we will start with the first one that I read in July, and that is the second half of Game of Thrones. So I don't have the physical copy right here to show you because a friend borrowed it. You all know what Game of Thrones is about, I'm pretty sure. So for the German version there's always 2 books for 1 English one. So when you read Game of Thrones we have 2 books for that. And I read the second one now, and I liked it more than the first one, I have to admit that. I wasn't a huge fan of the first one. I just, there were too many characters that I just didn't care for, that I did not like, and I didn't want to know what was happening to them. A few of them just grew on me a little bit more in the second half, and there was a lot more action, I felt. So the second one definitely was more of my kind of thing. So I would say I overall enjoyed it more, and I have now gotten the 3rd book, but I don't know when I will be starting that because I have a few other things I want to read first. So I gave this book 3.5 out of 5 stars. I am still not completely in love with it, but there were certain parts of the book I really enjoyed, and then some that I didn't enjoy, but overall it was better. So the second book I wanted to talk about is Sex and the Kitty by Nancy the Cat. So this is a book all about cats. It is a very short book, it only has a few pages, it's like some over 200 pages. So very quick read. I got this from my friend Phil, who has a nail art channel, which I will try to remember to link down below. And she gave this to me just because she wanted to give me a book, and I read it. I have to say I was not impressed. This cat Nancy, she's really weird. I am not into these girly girl books for some reason. I loved Sex and the City, but just this one wasn't quite my thing. Nancy is just, a really young cat, and she's always getting in trouble, and then one day she finds out she wants to be famous, and she leaves her family, she runs away to live with that kind of woman that will make her famous, but this doesn't work out, blah 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 blah. I don't know, no, I didn't like that too much. It's probably a fun read if you're into cats and everything, which I am, but it's just not the kind of book that I would usually pick out. So I gave this 2.5 out of 5 stars, and yeah, I would not really recommend this, only if you like these girly girl reads and you like cats, basically. And then these were all the books I read in July, so next we're going to go on to my August reads, and this month was much more exciting, I would say, and that's probably because of the first book I read, and that was Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Peculiar? I hate that word. But yeah, I read it in English because this copy was so gorgeous I had to get it in the English version. This book is so gorgeous. If you take off the dust jacket, which I usually do when I read books, it is so beautiful, and the spine and everything, just the most amazing book ever. And it says Alma LaFay Peregrine on the front, which I love that. Then the inside, this pattern is so beautiful, and then also it is just so well made, and you have all those pictures in there which you have seen like thousands of times. But yeah, it was just so well made, and I loved that, and it made me really happy because this book is just so beautiful. For the storyline, I really didn't know what this book would be about when I bought it. I just thought it looked amazing and I wanted to have it, and I liked the idea with the pictures. I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars because I think that the overall experience is really nice. This is so well made. I love the pictures in it, but the story was okay. I enjoyed it. It was a little bit hard to get into and I really didn't know where it was going for a long time. But when it picked up, it got really exciting and I really enjoyed reading it till the end. I was really happy that this is not like a super scary book because I get scared quite easily nowadays. And if I'm home alone, you know, late at night, I just know that's, you know. But yeah, I really enjoyed this and I instantly bought the second book, Hollow City, and yeah, I will see when I get around to read that one. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Then I read another book that I have not here right now, and it is called Afterlife. I sent this to my American friend because, well, if she's watching this, she will know. I didn't think about that. Oh no, she has her package already. I'm so all over the place. But I sent it to her because I wanted it, I wanted her to read it because I really enjoyed it and I was really surprised. I have no idea how this book ever got into my bookshelf. I don't remember buying it whatsoever, but I always liked looking at it in my bookshelf and I thought, you know, I have to read it now. So I read it. It's also quite short and it's basically a story about mediums and mediumship. So it's kind of a different topic. It's nothing that I usually read, but I really enjoyed it. The main character, you know that she killed someone, but you know, you don't really know why she did it or how she did it. And the first chapter starts with her burying the body. And then you switch to about, I don't know, 5 or 10 years later when the body is found and they start investigating the case. So yeah, at first you really don't know what happened, you just know she killed him, and yeah, it's just a mystery kind of story, but it has this kind of mediumship touch and it was really something special. And I really liked the main character. For some reason she reminded me of that friend that I sent it to. I hope she's not offended because she has never killed somebody, I'm pretty sure. But for some reason I just really liked the main character so much and I really enjoyed this book. So I gave this also 4.5 out of 5 stars. I rarely give 5 stars, I don't know why. But I think you should definitely check out that book because I really liked it. And the author is Ryan Ellis, in case I didn't say that already. So the last book I wanted to talk about now is this one. I read it in German. The title is Im Namen der Lüge and the English title is In the Company of Liars. It is written by David Ellis. I thought that was kind of funny. I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. It was not like an insanely good book. It is a thriller and the special thing about it is that it is told backwards. So you start in, I think, June, yeah, in June, and you end up in February, I think. And there was a special day in February when a man was killed. And he was kind of a famous, not really famous, a popular guy. No, not popular. I don't know the English terms. But he worked with like policy and stuff. And so he was killed and the murder suspect is his lover, and his lover is a author, like a female author. She's really famous and you don't know whether she really did it, but you know that in the beginning of the book, which is the end of the story, she's dead. And you go backwards to find out what really is behind it. So I liked the idea. Do you hear my cat going crazy? I like the idea, but the overall story was a little bit meh. It was a little bit too much for me. Like, there's this whole FBI thing. I don't want to talk about it too much, but yeah, it's just, I don't know, they just wanted too much in the end, you know? It's not a believable story, like I can't believe that this would be happening. But I don't know, this is just something that it was just too much, and then it had a really slow start and you didn't know what was going on for a whole lot of time, and then I don't like reading backwards. I thought that was a little bit weird, and in the end, which is really, you find out a lot at once, in the end you really don't know whether you understood the beginning of the book. I don't know, it was a little bit meh, but I like the idea. It was a cool idea and it was a little bit different. And I like reading thrillers, but this one didn't thrill me too much. I was just like in this, oh, I don't understand what's going on. That sucks. So, you know, that was my mood while reading it for the most part. But this would be all the books I read. Now I want to show you what I'm planning on reading. So for the next months I'm planning on rereading this huge book. This is The Orcs, whatever. And it is a bind-up of 3 books. Maybe I can find out the titles. They are Bodyguard of Lightning, Legion of Thunder, and Warriors of the Tempest. So this is by Stan Nichols, and I loved this book when I was younger. I had this huge fantasy time after reading Lord of the Rings, and I read a lot of these things, and I remember particularly loving this book. So I wanted to reread it and see whether I still like it. And when I was googling it to see whether they even sell this anymore, I found out that there is a second bind-up of 3 other books following this one. So I'm not quite sure whether I will buy that and read that as well, but I just wanted to start with this. And then I really want to read this book. This is, what's it called? I don't have the English title. It's Hector's Reise oder Die Suche nach dem Glück. I think it's, I don't remember. I looked it up and I forgot. Something about Hector. And the author is François Lelourde. I definitely do not speak French. But yeah, there's a movie coming out for this really soon, and this is such a short book, so I just want to read it before I watch the movie. And I hope I will be happy after reading this, because this is all about being happy. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you have been reading lately, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye!